Hello YouTubes! Today we're looking at a puppy who was crazy out of control but learned to do husbandry in just one session. And as always, we did not use lures. So let's jump right into it. Meet Echo, the rowdy, bitey, fluffy, jumpy, wiggly little puppy you've ever seen. Yes, this is a typical little dog, and when it's ill in the future, we will have a lot of difficulty being able to put products in this dog's ears or eyes or even look at its feet to cut its toenail. So we start by training this little doggo to be calm and quiet around us. Definitely needs some training. This is why we do husbandry. This puppy is out of control. He's all over the place, keeps biting, can't settle, can't stand still for half a second, tries to bite your fingers and your face and your socks. So we need to train this puppy to be immobile so that we can treat it in the future. Although it might seem a good idea to distract the dog with a bully stick while you try to train it for husbandry, in this case, as soon as the dog stops to eat the bully stick, he's back to biting your fingers and your hands. Lures just don't work. My colleague Randy demonstrates a different kind of lure. This one is with a plush toy. And although she can open the eye of the dog and give a reward, the dog is still not learning the behavior. This is a prime example of what not to do. Moving hands, petting, overstimulates puppies, and that's counterproductive when we want to try to train immobility, which is husbandry behaviors. A point of entry in training is where do we start actual process. So here Randy is demonstrating that we need to calm the dog down first. I paused the camera so I could show the client how to position their hands and also how to start training. So here's a safe way to start accessing the eyes. Immobilize the head first. There's no squeeze, there's no hold. This is just hand placement. It's important in husbandry training that we move slowly, that we position our hands to avoid getting bitten, and then we can start the actual manipulation. So here we place our hands, then we can access the eyes, then we can say good boy, good girl, and give the dog the treat. To desensitize and train the ears, we place our hands exactly in the same position as we did with the eyes, but in this case, we're going to start pulling the base of the ear, then we're going to flip it over, tickle the inside, and eventually massage the liquid down the ear canal so that the product can do its job. And then we reward and treat the dog. I kept this segment in to demonstrate that the dog is allowed to say no. We're not forcing him to stay there. So in this case, we start pulling the ear. The dog moves its head, it wants out. We give it a little time to reflect, but it's important to try again because these are absolutely necessary behaviors. If you need to treat your dog's ear canal or his eyes, you have no choice. The dog needs to accept to be manipulated, and that's one of the reasons that training husbandry is so important. When the dog does the behavior, we say good boy and give treats. Training the dog to open his mouth is really difficult because that is their defense mechanism. So here's the first try at doing that. Now your point of entry in training will be different than this dog that is normal. Training the mouth behavior is a really hard one, as I said. In this case, the client will do a nice demonstration, hand position same as before, and then we lift the lips, but we have to make sure to open the dog's nostril. So the hand pulling back is to open the lips. Now, the client should have let go of the dog, and my colleague Randy will instruct her to give the dog a little moment to reflect. But again, we're going to try again very calmly. And now we have success. We say good boy, good girl, and we give a dog a treat. No lures. To care for the dog's safety, sometimes constraints are recommended and necessary. So in this case, our little puppy was going a little bit crazy with the biting. So we taught her how to do this type of constraint. Basically, we call it a contention where we're holding the dog close to us. We're not squeezing the dog in. We're just holding it enough so that it doesn't fall out of our arms. And we wait until the dog calms down. Once the dog has calmed down, then we can release and let the dog shake. So if it struggles, we hold just enough to hold him there, then we release the tension, he'll get off, shake, and all is good. The dog is still a little bit bitey from before, so we give it some time to figure out stuff. It's learning, and so is the human. So we let him relax, the client takes the dog. It's a bit struggling. So again, we're just going to be there, calm down, but we have to try again. So here the client will reopen the dog's mouth, which I can't really see with the GoPro, and then click and say, where we say good boy, good girl, and give the dog a treat. There are 3 behaviors for the paw. The first part is to be able to open the paw from the top so that we need to see the inner toes. So we're using giving the treat to the dog to desensitize to its toes. So the client's going to slowly start to approach her hand towards the paw and start desensitizing. It's important to not close the hand on the paw. The dog will feel trapped and it will struggle to get out. So again, we pick up the paw and we put it in our hand, and that's the behavior we need. We're not there to grab the paw. And this is the perfect execution. The client does her homework, and now we give the dog a treat. The second and third version of the paw are upside down in their natural alignment. So we cut nails or verify the dog's pads by lifting the dog backwards and flipping the foot up. So Randy demonstrates, and now the client is going to do the exact same thing. Those paws, when you cut toenails, are not meant to go forward. They're meant to go backwards, and that's how you can actually see the nail and cut it properly. And the third behavior regarding the paws is obviously doing the back ones. So just like we did the front, we're going to bend the leg the way it's supposed to, which is backwards, and then we're going to flip that toe upward. Those toenails and legs are not supposed to be coming forward. Randy also demonstrates that when you lift the knee, it's important that the knee stay under the body and not open sideways. That could injure the dog by pulling a ligament. Our little client here he wants to take a little break. Those toes, it's their second defense mechanism, so they don't really like being touched there. But it's important that the dog learn this is a non-negotiable thing. We need to look at your feet. Desensitizing the anus is as important as anything else. There's a million reasons why you might have to go touch back there, and a lot of dogs will bite you if they're not trained for this. Good boy, good girl, give him a little treat. The last behavior in our series is the tummy. We need to desensitize the tummy so that your veterinarian can palp and know if there's a problem with your dog's internal organs. Now, obviously males have a penis in the way, so we kind of have to work around it. You'll say good boy and good girl when the tummy goes super mushy, like really soft jello. Then we say good boy and give the treat. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, click that little bell, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, YouTube.